I suppose a first step to wisdom, if you like, to use that word, or certainly
Yes.
some kind of knowledge would be to not doubt oneself in the sense that you're undermining yourself emotionally, but question yourself: am I going about things in the right way, or
Yes.
not?
Well, as always, it's a matter of up to a point. Everything is up to a point. This is one thing I find also missing in the culture, which is very black and white. Either you're for this or you're against it. You can't adopt a position of it's got something good about it, but you're missing that it's got something bad about it. This is a simple Zen saying, yes, but, which is one of my favourite sayings. But in many situations now in the culture wars, if you seem to disagree, it's assumed that you take an extreme opposed position, but you don't necessarily need to at all. You're just seeing there's an imbalance here. So that business of getting the balance right is also applicable to things like self-belief. Back in the 80s, that was probably the peak of, everybody must have a high self-esteem. And Roy Baumeister, a psychologist that is quite well known, was quite big on that at the time. And he just noticed that it wasn't delivering any goods, that actually people were becoming more of a pain in the neck and more certain that they were right when they weren't, but weren't actually any happier, and it wasn't producing the goods. So what he has subsequently said is that it's much better to believe that you are good in proportion to the things that you do that have benign outcomes, rather than just believe in yourself in some blind kind of way. You don't want to doubt yourself excessively, but you certainly don't want to just believe that you're wonderful and you have, solved whatever you do.
And back then they were linking, excuse me. Back then they were linking self-esteem or low self-esteem to things like drug addiction, criminality, violence, partner abuse.
Yes.
And there was no real evidence that having low self-esteem might make you treat yourself badly, but there's very little evidence that it made you treat other people badly. And often people who were bullies or narcissistic tyrants felt pretty good about themselves, But there was this assumption, this mass assumption that the cure to the panacea was to raise the self-esteem of the world.
Yes, and an interesting aside on that, psychopaths, who are people who effectively can't feel a lot of the emotions that guide our moral behaviour, the feeling of causing pain or hurt and being in touch with sorrowful feelings, they have deficits in the right ventromedial frontal cortex, which is a very important part of the brain for example, bonding between mother and infant. They don't seem to have this, and we don't think that it's necessarily just because of something the mother did. It may be that it is genetic, but there they are, and they are, yes, they believe they're marvellous, and they are relatively incapable of seeing that they're causing a lot of harm and that what they're doing is not beneficial.